the bloodlust.
Me too.
I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror. This is episode 227 of the program. Tonight we are talking about Rob Savage's new movie, The Boogeyman, based on a Stephen King short story from the collection Night Shift. Was that his second or his first short story collection? It was his first one, and then Skeleton Crew.
Mm-hmm. I read it this afternoon, in fact. Not
you read the story
thing, just the story.
Did you? That's good.
Yeah.
I have vivid memories of that story, but I haven't read it in a long time.
Great.
My name's Amy. I'm your fearless leader. Joined, as always, by my lovely and talented co-host, Jamie. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Happy Pride to you.
Happy Pride.
Thank you. Happy Pride to you, listeners.
I
am a gay homosexual. I like to make sure that you're all aware.
And I'm a supporter of all you gays and homosexuals.
That's right. Jamie, arguably, is a bigger lesbian than I am.
I do check most of the boxes except the one real crucial one.
Except that one box.
Yeah.
She really is a more faithful and better lesbian.
I mean, I have a half closet full of flannels. I wear Birkenstocks. I drive a Subaru.
Yeah.
I know how to fix things around my house.
I'm telling you, people. Should be a real catch.
Yep.
She played for our team, but no. So I hope you're all having a good Pride and going to fun events and not being hateful bigots.
Yeah, life's better that way.
Yeah, I agree. So tonight being about the Boogeyman, a monster that hides in a child's closet, our roundtable discussion for this evening is, what were you the most afraid of when you were a little kid? Could be monsters, could be, I don't know, your house burning down, your cat running away. I don't know. What were you most afraid of when you were little, Jamie?
I was kind of terrified of tornadoes.
Really?
Yep. And I love storms, but
you do.
But I always sort of got real nervous at those moments where, like, it was iffy. I feel like there were more of those when we were kids, or at least when I was a kid around here in the Midwest, like, than now. But I feel like I remember multiple times where I think it was just the, like, drama and the excitement of, like, having to go down to the basement.
And all the power goes off.
And all the power goes out.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So it was, like, I think it always stuck with me because it was a real roller coaster of emotions. Because we would always be sitting on the porch enjoying the storm part. And then, like, shit would get bad real quick. And then the sirens would kick. And it was all very intense. So
That's a legitimate fear.
I was very afraid of those.
Yeah. I was more afraid of stupid things.
Okay.
In keeping with being an impractical person.
Sure.
I was really afraid of my basement. It was partly finished, so it wasn't like scary. It had couches and stuff down there.
Was it like a root cellar?
No. Which my grandma had, and I wasn't afraid of that.
Well, that don't make no sense.
That don't make no kind of sense. I used to always sprint up my basement stairs, and every single time I was terrified that something was behind me. I had this horrible fear that I'd be going up the stairs and something would come from behind me and get me. And even when I was grown up,
there was something there.
Maybe. And I didn't even have the basement stairs that were like open.
Okay.
They were regular stairs.
Oh.
But I was really scared of that. I also was scared of, there was this Batman movie theater standee made of cardboard that was full size.
Uh-huh.
And my brother and sister and I would take turns putting it in each other's rooms, hovering over our beds to scare each other.
Yeah,
and I was pretty scared of
horrible.
waking up to that.
Yeah.
It's, a big, dark, 6-foot-tall shadow looming over your
terrifying.
bed. It was. And it scared me pretty bad.
Yep.
So those were probably my biggest fears when I was a kid.
I
also had a lot of
weird
sleep
kid fears.
paralysis.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
We have talked about
that.
those. I used to wake up to things peeping in my door and sitting on my bed and things like that.
Huh.
A very scary childhood for me. When you have sleep paralysis, childhood is scary.
I was afraid of my parents dying. or getting divorced.
Yeah.
I had very adult
You had
fears,
normal
I think.
adult fears. Your parents defaulting on their mortgage.
I was a very
things
anxious
like
child, and
Yeah.
I grew into an anxious adult.
their property values getting raised and their mortgage going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, what if you guys owe a lot in taxes next year when you file?
What if
are you
you're
gonna do about that?
insolvent?
Every time we'd go on a family vacation, be like, can we afford this?
And then you just became their financial advisor at 7 and everything was fine.
Yep. I started crunching the numbers and I was like, guys, we need to tighten down.
Yeah, we're going to have to trim a little fat here.
Yep. We can't buy every Disney movie VHS. We've got to pick which ones.
Who had room for all of them? They were so huge in those huge cases.
We had one shelf in a closet. That was all of them.
One shelf, that's only like 4 movies.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a large closet.
I'm glad they have downsized our media now so that if you do have physical media, it's just narrow and small and not those huge clamshell cases anymore.
Oh, but there's something so nostalgic about opening those up now.
And like, watching that shitty VHS that doesn't look good anymore.
I just kind of love all of it.
I haven't watched a VHS in years.
No, me neither, but I wouldn't not do it.
I like spooks, like creepypastas about videos and things like that, but I haven't watched a real one in a long time. VHS. I love VHS.
And I think, isn't there supposed to be another one coming out shortly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometime this year, I believe.
VHS 98 or something? Or was that the last one?
Oh, boy. I think the last one was 93, right?
Okay.
And the one before it was 99?
Hail Ratma. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the 80 something.
Oh, I can't remember. Shitballs. Are you looking?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. We'll fact check for you.
I need immediate
answers.
gratification. All right, let's see. Oh, it was 99 that came out last year.
The last one was 99.
Yeah,
then 93 before that?
Oh, I didn't even look that up. The next one's 85.
That's the one that's coming out next?
It comes out October 20th.
Okay.
No, there's only been VHS. Oh, it was 94.
94, okay.
VHS 2, Viral.
VHS Viral.
94, 99, 85.
Okay.
What a fun franchise.
I love them.
I do too.
I wish they would have made more ABCs of Death, but how many filmmakers?
Here.
If you have to have 26 filmmakers every time, that's got to be pretty hard.
Yeah, but they repeated them every once in a while, and there have been enough newer ones to come out on the scenes. We
just
need
more
since
anthologies.
The last one came out. Yeah, we need more anthologies. I like anthologies.
I don't care what the premise is. We just need more anthologies.
Agreed.
Excuse me. But we are going to get a TV anthology pretty soon.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah. Black Mirror comes out.
Oh, shit.
Tomorrow, June 6th.
You ain't wrong.
We're very excited about that. We will be reporting back.
Except it's Netflix, and you can no longer use people's Netflix passwords.
Yeah. Unfortunately. What are you going to do? You just going to sign up and then get rid of it?
My parents have it.
You going to watch it down there?
So I told them I'm going to come down and watch it.
Okay.
All I have to do is essentially just be on their network.
That's true. I guess they don't even have to watch it with you.
Mm-mm. Although they might like it. I did convince them to watch John Wick.
And what'd they think?
Even though I think they watched it too late at night, that they weren't going to understand it. But my mom was like, that was an interesting movie. She's like, it was very hard to keep track of what was happening.
She probably fell asleep.
But then the more we talked about it, I was like, Mom, you understood way more. And she's like, yeah, I did. I think I might have liked it. Like, okay, we've gone full circle. We've done a total 180 here.
Well, I'm glad you're able to talk her into it.
Yeah. I think she was just tired of me talking about how great it was. Because the 4th one just came out on streaming.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I still got to watch them.
Well, I have them now.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you should have a movie night and we should all watch them.
Okay. You don't have to convince me to watch it again.
Fine. Have a movie night. I'm coming.
Okay. Done.
Okay. Listeners, what were you most afraid of when you were little? My sister was really afraid of this doll I had whose name was Tony. He was a clown.
That sounds legit.
It was
sounds
like
it
a
makes
baby
sense.
doll with clown
Yeah.
makeup, and it looked a lot like Pennywise. And my sister, I was I think 11 when the It miniseries came out, and I was really into scaring my sister with my doll too, putting it in her bed. So when she pulled her covers back, he was there and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Sisters.
Oh, siblings love to torture each other.
Yes.
Have I ever told you about the thing my dad used to do where he would act like he wasn't my dad?
No. No.
That used to scare me bad when I was little. He would do this thing where he would like make his face change, and he'd get his eyes would get all big, and he'd be like, "I'm not your father."
That's fun.
And he would start talking in a creepy voice and start coming for me. That used to scare me so bad.
Yeah. Well, sure. Okay.
So yeah, listeners, tell us what you were afraid of. Did your parents and siblings traumatize you? Or was it just me? We'd
Just
love to
Amy
hear
that
from you.
traumatized you.
I'm happy to traumatize any of you. And your children. That's right. This is great for 10-year-olds. Cue it up. All right, let's start talking about the movie we came here to discuss, shall we? Let's. Jamie.
Yeah?
Would you like to give us the stats?
Sure. This here movie was directed by Rob Savage of Host and Dashcam fame. It was written by Scott Beck, Bryan Woods, Mark Heyman, and adapted from Stephen King's short story, as was said earlier if you were paying attention. It stars Sophie Thatcher, who's from that show Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Chris
She's the
Messina.
young Juliette Lewis in that, right?
Yes.
The blonde?
No.
No?
I thought she was the dark-haired gal. Like the older sister.
No, I mean, in Yellow Jacket, she's blonde. I think.
Yeah. I was like, what
Okay.
are we talking about? I have not seen Yellow Jacket, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just remember that piece of trivia from the internet.
Oh, well, you'd like it.
That's what I've heard. Maybe someday. It's hard for me to start new things. But anyway, she's in it. Chris Messina of Things, and Vivienne Lyra Blair, which is a mouthful.
Is that the little kid?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the little sis. She was adorbs.
Yes, she was.
This is rated PG-13, a runtime of 1 hour 38 minutes, and it was released June 2nd of 2023, this year. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's currently at 62% fresh for critics, 66% fresh for audience. Says audience. Just all
For
of
the
people.
audience.
For the audience.
Evil Dead Rise.
Yep.
Anyway, what's this one about? It's another grieving death movie. Sort of like the Babadook Light. This one's about two sisters. The one's older. She's like a teen. And the other one's a little kid. Do we know how old she is? 6 or 7? Ish?
At
Does that sound
least.
right? Okay. Maybe a little older?
Yeah. I'd say, like,
Okay.
yeah, that's probably about right. 6, 7, 8, somewhere in those numbers.
Okay. So they're there. Their mom has just died in an accident, a car accident, and their dad is a therapist, but he is also the worst dad ever.
Yeah.
And will not talk about anything related to the mom's death, and will also not listen when the sister tries to talk about mom's death
No,
with
not
him.
going to have it. Not having it. at
He
all.
also does something which I feel is extremely irresponsible if you're a parent, or if you have anyone other than yourself that is in your family, which is sees patients at his home.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't think that's a good idea as a therapist. And I don't know if this is a common thing or if it only happens on TV and in the movies. Because I'm thinking of like American Horror Story, the first season. But why would you ever do that?
No, that's insane.
Doesn't that in itself mess up the doctor-patient boundaries?
I think a little bit.
Anyway.
It also immediately makes me question your judgment as a therapist.
Yeah. You're supposed to have boundaries between yourself and your
Right.
patients. You shouldn't bring them into your house.
No, you've
Especially
created a very
not-
uncomfortable and probably inappropriate situation.
Yeah, and you don't want them to be able to come to your house anytime.
Nope.
I think that's foolish, but
It is foolish.
they needed it for the plot of this movie, I guess.
Plus, it was a cool house.
It was a beautiful house.
So I get them wanting to like film as much as they can inside of it.
The horror of the movie is not simply that their dad is cold and detached. It is that the younger sister is very afraid of the dark because there's a monster that lives in her closet. And whenever it's dark, it comes out and terrorizes her. And we think, oh, well, she's just a little kid. She's dealing with the death of her mom. But then Dad gets a visit from this guy who just shows up at his house because that's his office and tells him he lost all 3 of his kids. The first one to SIDS and then the other 2 older ones.
Horrible deaths.
Yeah, to accidents, and that they were killed by the Boogeyman. And he shows him this sketch. And somehow this Boogeyman has come after now this family. Whenever you're sad, I guess, it feels like it can move in.
Yeah, you're weak and vulnerable at that point, so it can suck the life force from you.
Yeah. So that's the setup for the movie. This was the first movie that Rob Savage has made that he hasn't written. This was written by the guys who wrote, among other things, Quiet Place. And I can really see that, honestly, in this. Mm-hmm. So what did you think, Jamie?
What did I think? Well,
what did you think?
I will say I rather liked this movie. I didn't have a lot of expectations for it, but I think what I liked about it was largely Rob Savage's part. Like, how it looked was really cool. I liked how they creatively used lighting within it and different types of lighting, and the prop of that moon globe that the little sister holds at the beginning was such a cool addition.
That was a last minute replacement. Did you read that? It was supposed to be a lightsaber, but Disney said no. Oh,
well, I'm glad Disney said no, because this was way more effective.
Oh, yeah, and it got that nice scene where she would roll it.
Yes, like that was such a simple way to create tension, and it created, like, it had this awesome sound, it rolling against a wood floor. Like, it was all very pleasing. So I liked that. I think Rob Savage, I am still a fan of his, because I think he is very skillful at creating scenes and directing scenes that build tension, that don't even necessarily have something scary happening. Because while I do think his parts in this movie, or his touch on this movie, was strong, I think the writing and the storytelling and the plot was lacking. And I think that was poor. the biggest detriment to the movie, was that wasn't solid. It could have used a lot more tightening up. There were some weird, not even plot holes, but just like unbelievable occurrences. Like, that just wouldn't, like, we're in the age of cell phones. They use cell phones in this, and this is a thing that does not come out in the light. It only thrives in darkness, and not one person turned on a cell phone flashlight in this movie. Like, so that's very unbelievable. So if you can get past and kind of and that's not to say the story is absolutely terrible. It's just very generic, and it's also
very light on story. There's not a whole lot.
True. And it's interesting because, having just read the Boogeyman short story, the short story is very much just the Billings story. So the dad that comes in to visit the doctor, and his story about how his 3 children died. Like, that whole subplot of the movie is the story of Stephen King's
Is
The
it?
Boogeyman.
I didn't even remember it that way. I thought of it that it was from a kid's perspective.
Mm-mm. So then this movie essentially takes the doctor that Billings goes to see. It changed the end of the short story a little bit, and it makes the focus of the movie the doctor and his family, as if the Boogeyman sort of transferred over to that family.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I will say I found that part to be the most intense and, like, unsettling. And I was unsettled at various parts in this. I thought he did a really nice job of just creating scenes that caused a lot of tension, just seeing the eyes. But, like, when Lester Billings comes to the house, and that character actor, I should have noted his name. He's in
I do
a lot
really
of
like
stuff.
him.
He is great. Like, in almost every single thing that I see him in, he effectively just looks unsettling, but always just really plays a convincing character that's, like, a little bit unhinged, that you don't know whether you can trust
Like, yeah, he was the most
to not
interesting
lose
character in this because of the performance the actor gave.
And he was in it for such a short period of time, but like his presence was absolutely felt. Like it was unnerving. You didn't know if it was going to go badly, but you also kind of believed him because you see a little clip of what happens in the beginning. So you have these things, and then there's this scene where they both stand up, and he's like much taller than him, and he's again this like imposing figure, and it's just very intense, and it's not even one of the main scenes of the movie. Like,
no, because you also have the anxiety of like, there's a strange man in this guy's house, and his daughter is there, and he doesn't know his daughter's there. Yeah,
so it's just those sorts of things. That's a little bit story writing, but it's also just how Rob Savage like films those scenes and plays those, and the camera angles. And also just like acting too. Like it's solid acting from those characters, but I
think he's good at like the use of silence too. It helps to build the tension.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of scary shock scenes in this, but they're not exactly jump scares. They're done in a little bit of a more sly way, which I liked.
Yeah.
And Kay said for a non-horror person, a normal person, she said she jumped like 6 times.
Oh, really? That's
so
funny.
That's good to know.
Okay.
From non-jaded folk, she jumped like 6 times.
I can believe that because I think there were moments, maybe like within the first hour of the movie, before the last half hour, so like the first hour and 8 minutes, where I felt the tension was just solidly like built up and then maintained throughout it. I was a little disappointed with how early on we saw so much of the actual Boogeyman, the monster.
Yes.
I think it would have done it a better service if it had held off on that, because I think just showing the weird glowing eyes, because they looked really weird.
Those should have been shown, and just those, and just like a little bit 100%. Of movement in the corner of your eye until the very end.
That's 100% what it should have been. And also probably like pepper in some of the weird voice, which reminded me of the bear from Annihilation, just this like mimicking of characters that you've already killed or are about to kill or have just heard to try and
I liked that aspect.
I thought that was super
that was
cool. Because you know what it wasn't? It's like the fucking cracking sounds. Which would have been 100%, I think, if handled by somebody else, would have been included in some way, shape, or form. If it was like the folks who do
or the standard monster noises, the creaking, the rattling, but it didn't. It was
because mimicry thing was not part of the short story. Like,
didn't it talk?
I don't remember.
It's been so long since I read it.
I don't remember that coming up in the short
over
story.
Me.
And if I'm wrong, someone will say, and that's totally fine. But I don't remember that being like at least a memorable part of it. I just read it. And so the fact that was something that you are exposed to like right from the beginning. Like that was interesting. That was very cool to me. Like that is a cool monster design. And then what's more of it is revealed at the very end. Like it's a little relic monster-esque, like it just...
They just showed it too much.
The hand part of it. That was it. They just played the hand with what it looks like too early. And I wish they had held off on that. And like you said, it should have just been some movement out of the corner of your eye. And it should have been those weird, creepy, like glowing eyes and some voice. And then that's it until
because they were such
later.
A good glowing. They were like reflective. And
they were like how an animal looks.
As often.
In the dark.
And I liked how they did it.
Yeah.
I was pleased to see the sister from The Dark and the Wicked in this. She played the wife of the what'd you call the guy?
Lester Billings.
Yes, she played the wife.
I like that actress a lot. I think her name is like
the one who looks like
Marion Ireland or something.
Marion Ireland is her name. Yes, the one who looks like Gary Sinise with a wig on.
I didn't love her in this, but normally, like I think she's great. I just
mostly
thought
her.
This character wasn't needed because I feel like that whole thing. Her whole place in this universe and in this story felt like it was meant to provide exposition and provide more information. But I think
background on the monster, and we don't get any.
So
That's
I
true.
think that like because of the poor writing and storytelling in this, that didn't really serve its purpose. And so really the only thing that came of that was the older sister learning that the monster was vulnerable, like could be hurt. And I think that could have been shown in any other way. Like you don't need to add another character and another subplot to it. I don't think that added as much as they thought it did or hoped it would.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but why get rid of Lester Billings' character when they did, when she could have just learned that stuff from him?
From him. They should have kept him going. But that's how I feel about that. But I thought otherwise, like, and that wasn't necessarily a fault of her acting. It was just, I don't think that character and that part was even necessary. But outside of that, I thought all the characters were interesting. I think they were like, as poor as I thought the writing was or lacking, like the characters were interesting and fleshed out enough. And I think that's maybe largely just because they were good actors. Even the little sister. Like she had some weird, like funny, subtle humor moments.
I thought everybody did an okay job. I think Chris Messina is kind of like a Dermot Mulroney.
Yeah, like he's very
just like
interchangeable.
A very like he is. He's just like a very bland horror movie dad.
Yep.
Who doesn't believe you until the end.
Yeah.
There's like no personality to speak of.
Anything other than that.
I guess not. But what's the harm in making your characters a little more interesting?
Yeah. True.
I feel like that's something that Rob Savage does that these writers don't do.
I mean, look at that. He made a character that was wholly unlikable in Dashcam, and yet we absolutely loved her.
Right.
Like, couldn't get enough of her. So, he knows how to do that part.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess, that's what happens. It's like, we have this movie that we've written, and now you've been chosen to direct it. So I get it. But I just feel like this movie would have been better if they had given him a chance to write it. There's nothing that says that a movie can't have good humor and good characters when it's a straightforward, scary movie. And you don't have to have humor, but give it something to give the characters some personality of their own.
Well, and I was going to say, I don't think the humor was even like super purposefully trying to be done. I think that most of it for me, the humor was like the young daughter. Or the youngest sister. And I think that was just maybe the way she played it. Like the scene where she's laying on the table just absentmindedly and slowly eating, like picking up pieces of shredded cheese from a bowl and eating it.
Yeah, I liked that.
That was such an odd, unnecessary addition, but like said a lot about her character. It was very funny. And it was just like a weird, like touching little realistic feeling moment.
Yeah, and all you needed to do is throw a couple more of those in there and they would have felt like real people instead of placeholder characters.
I just loved that. I thought that was so funny. I was like, oh girl, I could lay down and just eat some shredded cheese.
That was a nice touch because it was a realistic thing that a little kid would do. Yeah. It's not like look how cute and look how charming and juvenile and whatever, I'm doing a wacky kid thing. It was just like a stupid thing a kid would do.
Yeah, it was just really funny. And then I liked, well, that gets into spoiler territory, so we won't talk that. But I will say, too, that all of the scenes where the older sister, what's her name, Sadie?
Yeah.
Where she's at school with her group of quote-unquote friends.
Dude, did she not have the most comically, like, insensitive friends?
What is this?
I hope kids aren't really like
teen
that.
Movie? Like,
her friends were so mean.
The one blonde girl, like, I can't be the only one that was hoping she was going to get her, like, torn the fuck apart.
No.
By the monster.
Certainly not.
Because she was horrible.
That was
like,
so,
why would you even be in the circle of these people?
I gotta say, like, if you've ever had a friend or somebody at school or you've lost somebody at a young age, everybody in school treats you, if they talk to you at all, they treat you with kid gloves. Nobody's going to act like this to this kid.
No one's going to comment on you wearing your mom's dress and how, like, do you think that's a good idea? Like, that chick was just comically villainous.
Yes.
Like, why would she be a part of this friend group at all?
However, did I think it was unrealistic for a therapist dad to avoid those conversations with his kids? No.
No, not at all. I found that to be incredibly realistic.
Yeah.
And way, like, super believable. I mean, she even says, like, at one point, I was trying to talk to you about it or something. He's like, yeah, well, let's have a good night. Let's call it a night. And he just leaves. It's like, come on, dude. I think as much as I hated that, in that it was like certain things were unbelievable, like character choices were unbelievable. We talked about that just briefly when we left. Like, I found that to be actually quite believable, because I think that probably is a more common occurrence than not, where it's like, you think you're smart and can solve everybody else's problems, but you can't look inward and recognize that, like, you are not taking your own advice and you're actually causing a lot of problems with your family because there's virtually no communication. And to go and like pack up all your mom's shit, all your dead wife's shit, without covering it with your teenage daughter who's clear. I mean, it was just, all of that to me felt very likely and realistic. Like, that's what I would expect from a therapist dad who is obviously so confident of his therapy that he sees patients in his house.
So irresponsible. I can't.
So irresponsible.
I don't know. This is sort of like the Babadook light, like the Babadook for mainstream audiences in a way. Although, where the Babadook makes you learn that you have to kind of live with grief and live with your monster, this one is like, well, you could kill it with fire.
Or can you?
Or can you? Did you think that, or have you ever thought that this actress from Yellow Jackets looks like Anya Taylor-Joy if she had normal proportions in her face?
No, I found her a lot of times to remind me of Christina Ricci, of young Christina Ricci.
I can see that. Which is funny because she does not play the young version of Christina Ricci on Yellow Jackets. She plays the young version of Juliette Lewis. I'm pretty sure. I've only kind of watched it a little bit.
I've not seen it at all. But there were more than a few scenes where I'm like, who does she remind me of? It's like Christina Ricci and Casper. Or like Now and Then.
Aww,
like young Christina.
Little Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
What did you think about the way that the Boogeyman, like when he actually attacks his victims, or I don't know how to gender that.
Oh, you mean the Dementor action?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
I didn't like that either.
Because
I thought that was a little...
looked completely different than what we saw at the beginning, when, I will say, we brought
blood.
it up before, where it killed a baby. So that's something that happens. It's suggested off screen. You don't see anything happen, but like it happens. So that you hear sounds, like, and you like hear blood or see blood or something. So like, there has been like a killing, and then later on, we're supposed to believe that it just like hovers over you and sucks your life force out in little like wispy
black trails.
Wispy black trails. Like that felt, I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either. But I will say I did like how it kind of made that black mold grow everywhere.
I also I thought that was a cool touch. I thought that,
and the black mold made everything really damp, and that's why the lights burned out. That was smart.
That was cool.
Although everyone should
cool
have had flashlights at that point, or a flashlight app on their phone.
I mean, get a lantern with a fire in it.
Yeah, because movies where you could be safe if you just kept the lights on sort of bother me a little bit.
Yeah, or it obviously didn't go outside at all.
Yeah.
It seemed to be very much confined to a home setting.
And I know that I always say, I don't need you to explain the whole lore or anything like that, but this was very light on lore. How did this monster target you and things like that? And why did it live in your house? I wish there was a better description of what the monster was.
And that's interesting, because I noticed that the tagline for this movie is "Don't Let It Out," which bothers me, because like the premise of the
don't let
movie,
it in.
Yeah, and the premise of it is like not to not let it out. Like, that's not a thing you even have control of.
No, you wake up and the closet door's open.
Yeah, you just see that the closet door opens of its own accord. So it doesn't matter whether or not you are taking action, the thing is going to get out. So then I was like, what does "don't let it out" even refer to? Like, the monster? Like, your feelings? And so that bothered me. I was like, it just feels like not even like a fully conceived story or idea.
Right. So do you think you'd recommend this?
I would definitely recommend this. Because
Who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend it to like casual horror fans who are easily like if you find Insidious or like the Conjuring type movies kind of scary, even though there aren't necessarily a lot of jump scares in this, I think he's so successful at creating scenes that like ratchet up the tension and create there were multiple parts where I felt anxious and uncomfortable, and that is a rare occurrence for me, especially in a movie that's not depicting like real world like psychological horrors or like your everyday dread stuff, even though grief can be, but like, or trauma can be, but like this didn't lean too heavily into that. It was sort of like just dusted on the surface. Like you could make an argument for it, but it clearly wasn't their main focus. But I think it was a cool enough watch, and it was creepy enough that just your casual horror fan would like this. Do I think it's the best thing that I've seen? No, I think it's pretty generic, and like we said, like follows some very well-known and well-trodden horror tropes. And there's a part at the end, like we haven't necessarily talked full spoilers, but like you see certain things towards the end, and like if you've seen 10 plus horror movies, you know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly how they're going to defeat the monster in the end. Like it is telegraphed heavily and in a very, in my opinion, very obvious way. And those sorts of things they're okay, because that's part of like your cookie cutter horror movie. That's what makes them successful. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I feel like this movie really did have so much potential, because I think Rob Savage is very skilled. Like to me, this is 3 for 3 for him as a director. I would like to have seen his written version of this, but I still am 100% on board with how he directs a movie and his vision for how scenes look, or how he wants characters to move about a scene, or certain things framed. However that is, like, he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to create a tense scenario. So I'd say for that reason alone, even though the story is lacking, you would like going to see. Plus it's PG-13. Like, I think it's a very solidly scary or creepy PG-13 movie.
Yeah, I think that I would recommend this not to adults. I think to adults that are, I would say if you are an adult, maybe watch Smile instead from last year.
Yes,
I thought that was a little bit better and tackled some of the same subjects. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a little more unique and interesting. I would recommend this definitely for teens and younger, like tweens and teens.
For your PG-13ers.
Yeah, I think this would be a fine movie for them. There's the kids are in peril a little bit and stuff, but there's hardly any violence shown on screen. Right. There's hardly any blood, but it still has good scares, like Jamie said. So I recommend, I would say, watch something like Smile if you're a grown up and you haven't seen that. Or if you want to go classy, watch The Babadook. Similar territory, way better. That's how you could make a good one. But this, to me, Rob Savage made a bigger budget horror movie that somebody else wrote. And all of our horror filmmakers that we like have done it. Yep. And he did a fine job with what he had. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. Liked it nearly as much if he hadn't directed it. Yeah, I think you're right about that. So why don't we talk some spoilers? I will say real quick, did you notice that the scene where Sadie's on the floor, like watching that YouTube seance video? That's the same seance video from The Host. Is it? Uh-huh. I didn't notice. The Scottish woman. She's like Scottish or Irish. Yeah, it's exact same one. I looked it up just to make sure I wasn't crazy. Host was real fun. Yeah. Actually, so was Dashcam. I'd 100% watch Dashcam again. I laughed so much during that movie. I loved Dashcam. I like Dashcam the best, but yeah, same here. It's been so long since I saw Host. I kind of want to see it again now. Yeah. All right, so let's talk some spoilers. Like we said, I think they show the monster way too much. I think having it become just a kill the monster thing at the end was a bit of a cop-out. Yeah. But what ultimately happens? Do you remember better than I do? They burn the house down. Yes, she goes
like her sister's attacked and goes in the hospital. Her dad's freaking out because that's the hospital his wife was taken to when she was dying. Then Sadie gets a call from Lester Billings's wife, who's like, I finally figured out that we could probably kill it. Like, come over, let's end this tonight. You know, your typical. So she leaves and heads over there, and it turns out his wife just wants to use her as bait, but still does think that she can kill this thing. It has this like fun little booby trap thing set up, which annoyed me because she waits until Sadie's like in the room just about to hit the tripwire, but she's like, oh, no, be careful, there's a tripwire there. Like, if you're leading someone into a room and you know there's going to be some sort of trap thing, maybe just a heads up, like when you're in the hallway.
Before she crosses the threshold.
Almost hits it. But that's neither here nor there. So then she has her come in, the monster falls for the trap, is shot a bunch of times by this booby trap, and you see it bleed, so you realize, oh, it can be injured, it doesn't die, it kills the wife. Sadie heads back home and warns her dad, like, it's gonna come after you, because she escapes it out of that house, and you see it pull the dad and the sister in, and then it has the dad in the basement. Sadie finds her sister, which is another kind of funny part, is that her sister found a way to like keep some light on, and she finds these old Christmas lights and wraps herself in them.
Oh yeah.
But of course they're like fucking blinking Christmas lights, so it's not continuous light. It's just like every once in a while you have to be afraid because it's a little dark.
Where's your globe, kid?
I know. Well, remember, it was broken in the beginning.
Oh, that's right.
So then they go downstairs to fight the monster and save their dad. And the part I was talking about that's like super highly telegraphed is that like they make a big deal of showing her find her mom's lighter and use it multiple times throughout the movie. And so you figure she's got the lighter on her. And then the sister, when Sadie finds her like hiding with the lights in this closet before they head downstairs, she like sprays her in the face with some sort of aerosol spray. So in your mind, you're thinking, all right, she's got a lighter, there's some aerosol spray.
That's right.
Then they knock a box over and there's paint thinner, like paint cleaner that falls on the thing. And you're like, all of these tools are going to come in handy in mere moments. So
I have never watched a movie before, so I have no idea what's going to happen.
So and I get it. If you don't watch a ton of movies like this, you probably won't pick up on those things, even though I would argue those were telegraphed pretty heavily in this. Yeah. So I knew that was coming at the end. But anyways, but the power of family, they all find a way and they burn this monster to death. And you see them in therapy at the end, like family's therapy, and they're finally all talking and discussing, and they start walking out. And then the therapist calls Sadie back in the room to talk to her. She's like, I need to talk to you for a sec. And you see her go back in, and the closet door is open, and the therapist is nowhere to be found. And then the therapist like comes in and is like, can I help you with something? So you realize she didn't call her, and then Sadie just closes the door, thus ending the movie.
That's right.
So that's how it ends. Obviously kind of set up for a little
sequel action, perhaps.
Boogeyman 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I hope. Sort
of action, but also could very much be, listen, sometimes you think you done killed your trauma and grief, but there might still be little nuggets of that floating around in there.
So maybe that's what they were trying to say.
So it could have been, but I doubt it, since that whole like the trauma grief aspect wasn't really necessarily, that did not seem to be the main reason they were playing it out like they were. It seemed to more of an afterthought, or like a convenient parallel.
It's a convenient thing. I mean, the whole idea of a dead parent's a convenient cliche. We have it. Yeah. We've had it since the Disney movies. Yep. Look at Megan that we just reviewed. Yep. Another kid losing her parents, not knowing what to do. Nobody knows how to talk to her.
And you wonder why I was terrified of my parents dying when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because shit like this happens.
Inevitably, shit like this happens.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Listeners, Jamie gave me How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix to read, and it's pretty funny, and I just wanted to recommend it.
It is funny.
And I'm finding some funny parallels between that and this movie, in that it's just funny because the main character loses her parents in an accident, and her mom was always so weird about death and not talking to her kids about death. And so she was like, I swear when my daughter's little and somebody dies, I'm going to be up front with her. And that's what she did. And her daughter like regressed and like wet her bed every night and just freaked out.
It was not the right move.
No, it was not the right move. But it's a really interesting book. It's silly and has some pretty genuinely scary moments.
Yeah, and some pretty just like upsetting moments. I can't say enough how much of a fan I am of Grady Hendrix.
They're very enjoyable books. If you're looking for like summer reads, you cannot do better.
Oh my God. Beach reads, Grady Hendrix for the win. Like,
yeah, they're very fun. They're frustrating at times in that way that I think we've discussed on the show before where, you know, everything is going wrong for the main character and you just can't do anything and they just keep digging themselves in further and further and nobody believes them.
You just feel super frustrated by it.
You get your resolution at the end, but man, he puts you through it.
They're just so good. I have yet to be disappointed.
They're really fun, and I'm really liking this one especially. It's a really wacky premise, and if nothing else, you'll be able to describe it to whomever you're sitting with when you read it, and they'll get a good laugh out of it like Kay has.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So that's what we think about How to Sell a Haunted House, and that's what we think about The Boogeyman. And that's what we think about Rob Savage.
Yeah. I wanted to mention 2 other little pieces of trivia because I was curious about this one, so I had to look it up. The video game that the little sister is playing, there's a really cool scene where, one, why is she sitting in the dark at this point, being terrified of what's going to happen, makes 0 sense, but sets up for an interesting series of scenes after that. But she's playing a video game, and she realizes, like, if she keeps shooting, her character keeps shooting a bow and arrow, like, at this thing, it lights up the screen really bright in the room for a moment. And I just thought that was a very cool way of just handling light and lighting up a room. Similar to, I can't remember. Oh no, it was freaking You're Next, where she sets up the timer on the camera in the basement so that the flash keeps going off. So that part was really cool, but I thought the game looked really neat. And the game, if anyone else is curious, is called The Pathless.
And is it like an RPG?
It doesn't sound like, it sounds like it kind of is, but you can play with other people in it. But they're like missions and things that you do. But it looks like there's cool monsters that you can find and cool like open world type stuff. And also their house number their address was 217, which is the spooky hotel room in The Shining.
In the book. In
the book, right. So a little homage to some Stephen King stuff. Oh, cute.
He does give me like mild Mike Flanagan vibes.
Yes.
Just in terms of his career path. Although he's much less earnest than Mike Flanagan. I enjoy
Rob
that about him.
Over Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, so am I.
I know Kitty would disagree, and that is totally fine.
That is totally fine.
I still love her.
We'll see how history bears out with the two of them.
Rob Savage,
because he's following that same career path, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Stephen King.
Too.
Must be nice, man. You've been killing it since like the 70s, and now you're barely having to write anything new, and you're just having this resurgence of like remakes and movies.
Well, he's written a lot of short stories. There's a lot of ammunition there, and some good short stories. Yeah, arguably better than his books.
I would be excited to see more of his short stories adapted into longer films because I think they lend themselves better to that. Whereas like a novel, if you've read
they're too big almost. They're almost they lend themselves to a series.
You're going to have to cut a lot of stuff out, and that's going to be upsetting, and it may or may not change the course of the movie. Like this one, the short story was such a small aspect of this film, yet helped feed the theme and the ideas.
It just gave him almost like a writing prompt.
Yeah, it was just like a starting off point. But I'm a fan of that. So
that's kind of like the Children of the Corn. That was a very short. It was a scary short story, and they do follow it very closely.
Yeah.
But it's just a little seed of an idea that they made into a movie, which I still think is an underrated creepy ass movie.
Do something with The Lottery, please. Because
the Shirley Jackson story?
Because it's the scariest one that I can think of. Like that one fucked me up. Yeah. The Shirley Jackson story.
I'm sure somebody's adapted that.
Well, yeah, but I mean like
right?
in a new fun way.
In a new fun way. It'd be hard. Everybody knows the story.
Oh, I don't even care. You could still do something with it.
I suppose. Do something where you don't even realize that's the story you're watching until the end.
Exactly.
That'd be cool. Do you remember that Stephen King short story? I think it was from Skeleton Crew. It's from one of the older collections, The Jaunt. The one about the hyper speed travel and the kid stays awake during it. That was one of the scariest things I've ever read.
That would be a good one too.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking before we started recording that Rob Savage apparently has expressed interest in writing and or directing a remake of The Langoliers, which I am 100% in support of.
The much maligned miniseries with the horrible CGI.
Yeah, it was terrible. It looked like Pac-Man monsters.
Yeah, or Qbert or something.
Yeah. But that didn't mean I didn't love it in its cheesiness. And just
the idea was so cool.
The concept is very scary to me.
I agree. I will say that the Stephen King adaptations that have come out in recent years are lots better than the ones that they were putting out during that time.
Yes.
That, Tommyknockers, Needful Things, The Perfect Storm, they were all pretty garbage.
Yeah, don't include Cat's Eye in that.
I would never. Cat's Eye's 80s.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's right.
80s Stephen King is better.
Oh, that was so good.
And I will also go to bat for Silver Bullet. I enjoyed Silver Bullet.
I don't think I saw that one.
No?
Mm-mm.
That was a Stephen King, like a graphic novel he did.
Oh, all right.
And it's about a werewolf. And it has Corey Haim and the girl who played Anne of Green Gables as his older sister.
I love her.
And as the drunk uncle, Gary Busey.
Sure, yeah. Isn't he everyone's drunk uncle?
He's the Hollywood's drunk uncle.
Yeah.
It's underrated. I liked
it. Look it up.
You know who else is in it? Big Ed from Twin Peaks.
Oh, shit.
Indeed.
All right. I'll check it out.
I remember watching that when I was little with my mom, and I thought it was such a good whodunit, because it's like, who's the werewolf? There's somebody in your town who's a werewolf. And I remember showing it to my mom, being like, Mom, you got to watch this. Anne of Green Gables is in it, because she loved Anne of Green Gables.
Of course.
And I remember her seeing the person who ultimately ends up being the werewolf for the first time and being like, oh, it's him.
Yeah, she would.
And I was like, damn it, Mom. Well, she reads a lot of mysteries.
So she knows.
Yeah. My mom is to whodunits as we are to horror movies.
Yeah.
Anyway. We'd love to hear what you guys thought of The Boogeyman. And I would also love to hear what Stephen King short stories, if you're a Uncle Stevie fan, which ones you'd like to see made into movies or even just made into shorts.
I just bought Night Shift, so.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I had to buy the Kindle edition so that I could get it quickly and read it by today. So now I'm just
sure I have the paperback still.
Well, Kitty said she had it. She's like, but it's in storage, so it'll be a while. I'm like, nope. I got 48 hours.
I totally forgot it was from the perspective of the dad. I should read that again. I should go back and read that whole collection again. There's some good ones. There was one about a mirror that was really good. I think that one was also in Skeleton Crew, though.
Okay.
But the seed of the story for Salem's Lot, too, is in one of those, and that's good. Mm. I like his short stories, although some of the more recent collections haven't been great. I thought If It Bleeds was good for the most part.
I liked If It Bleeds.
Yeah. I'm not into like the whole like energy vampire thing that he's done with like Dr. Sleep and that other Mr. Mercedes, I think, is in another one with them.
I liked Dr. Sleep, though.
I
liked the movie. Like actually, I read the book too, and I liked it.
I didn't like the book all that much. I kind of liked it.
I loved that one character in the movie, Rose the Hat.
He took it so easy on everybody. Well, nobody dies, and that
there were like
me out
very few stakes.
That I'm not used to that with him, you know. But it might have been because I was reading some of his like golden age books right before I read that one, because I was on like a tear, and I think that was right after I read Pet Sematary for the first time, which is arguably like his best book.
I mean, is it like his drug and alcohol era?
Of course,
when his writing is the best. Like, I mean, you hate to say it, but
I think it kind of is
the truth.
But I don't know, because maybe before he got really big, I think some of the garbage ones were made just because he had so much money and he was just doing lots of drugs, and I don't know.
Maybe.
Who are we to question Uncle Stevie?
I don't want to. He's too cool now.
Yeah. He's horror's cool uncle.
Yeah.
And Gary Busey's Hollywood's drunk uncle.
Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Gary Busey. Gary Busey scares me.
As he should, Jamie.
Yeah, if you're not careful at night, Gary Busey will come out of your closet.
You have to be really careful.
You just see
keep your lights on.
His teeth shining in the dark. reflecting.
Oh my. So any other new business?
Nay.
Let us know what you think of those Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah.
Once you start watching them, kids. Oh, for our next movie, we have a special surprise for you. Although I'm revealing it now, so it's not really going to be a surprise.
No.
Jamie will again not be on this episode. Sorry about that, listeners, but she decided she didn't want to see this movie. And the way I described it was enough for her to know that she never wants to watch it ever. And so I'm going to have a special guest. And it is Soren Narnia of podcasts
Yay.
Knife Point Horror and buddy of the podcast.
Yes.
He has graciously consented to join me for this episode to talk about Skinamarink, which is streaming now on Shudder and AMC Plus. So do go watch that and join me back here in 2 weeks with Soren Narnia to discuss it.
I can't wait to hear what you guys think.
Are you actually going to listen?
I'll listen to that one because I'm not on it.
Did you listen to the Beau is Afraid episode?
I did. I liked it.
Oh, you
It was
did?
good. Yeah.
Okay. I thought for sure you wouldn't listen to
Oh,
it.
nope. I listened. I just don't want to hear the ones with me.
Does it make you feel like you might want to watch it?
Oh, I definitely will watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. That
At
one was
home.
not one that sounded like one I didn't want to watch. It just, the first one was such a bust.
I know.
And then the second time, it was just like 9 million things came up. And it's hard to be like, yeah, I can go at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night to see
In
a
Ann
3-hour
Arbor.
movie in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I understand.
So, but
Well,
I
I'll
will
be
watch it. Once
excited
it's
to-
streaming, I definitely want to see it.
I'll be excited to talk about it with you
Yeah.
because it's very, very funny.
It sounds it. It
And
sounds like one I'd
ridiculous.
like.
I think you'll like it a lot.
Not like Skinamarink.
No,
which
I don't
sounds
think you'll like that
a
a
movie
lot.
about a wall.
I'll save it for next time.
Yep, great.
Well, thank you, Jamie, for joining me.
Yes, of course.
I enjoyed talking about this with you. Did we rate this?
No, my God, we didn't.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I've been 2.5 in a lot of stuff lately.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5, and mainly just because I think Rob really saved this one, and I think it's been a long time since I've felt that level of tension in some scenes in just your sort of summer blockbuster Hollywood movie.
I could acknowledge that some of the scenes
Or horror
were
movie.
well made. I mostly just felt sick because I ate that large popcorn and it
Well, then that's
too
not
fast.
the movie's fault.
It's not the movie's fault, but that was my predominant feeling during the movie.
All right. So that's a 3.5 and a 2.5.
Yeah. And recommend to children, recommend to non-horror aficionados.
Yeah.
So do with that what you will, listeners. And let us know what you
Next
think.
time.
And we will talk to you next time. And until then, I've been Amy.
I'm Jamie.
Thank you. And guten Nacht.
Gute Nacht.
And hail Radma. Also, my money is on Jimbo all the way now that Heidi... spoiler alert. Now that Heidi's gone. My money is on Jimbo. And that Shirley Temple performance was fucking crazy.
Well, that's your last minute RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars update and prediction.
So I'm also curious to hear who your favorite is. But if it's not Jimbo, you're crazy. He's crushing it. Anyway, thank you. Good night.
Good night.